Okay, we're back with another tier list. I'm doing things a little differently this time. I'm just gonna be a little more brief, talk about my thoughts on the character. Full disclosure though, I do not play a ton of Rasmus. I rarely play him, very rarely. I've gone through a couple other people's lists of what they've thought about him and just my general consensus. So let's kind of just get right into it. So full disclosure, yeah, out of the way. Don't play a lot of them, and I kind of just put this together. So for starters, let's go to the bottom. Useless stuff. He's not a creator, so he doesn't really benefit from timeless creator or monumentalist. I threw all the sparks and the orbs together as well, seeing how much you have to commit. The orbs, yeah, sure, maybe the cooldown reduction and speed might be helpful if you can work that into a play, but it's probably saved for somebody else, like more like your goalie, and it gets the orbs and kind of gives you a boost. So, yeah, Rasmus himself though is a very versatile striker. He has decent control and a lot of forward power. I find that he is very tough to deal with when he is directly facing the goalie. You don't really have a lot of options when he's got his primary and secondary ready to go. It would be pretty overwhelming for a goalie especially if they don't have any cooldowns available. And he has a lot of control based on his special. I know his special allows him to hook a player or an enemy striker over the ball, so you can prevent some silly stuff, like you can prevent goals, you can prevent them from hitting your posts or whatever those things are. I don't know. I haven't really come up with the name of those yet. Barriers. There you go. Anyways, yeah, you can do some silly stuff with him, and it makes him a good makeshift goalie in some respects. But my main focus with most of my characters is their ability to dish out some damage and play it forward. So this is essentially what I've come up with. So I feel like he doesn't benefit too much from, okay, this is a C tier. He doesn't really benefit too much from tempo swing. He's not really throwing down that often. Like he can do a lot of damage, especially paired with Siphoning Wand. Maybe I should talk about that first. Let's go back to gear. Siphoning Wand or Vicious Fan Braces. Fan Braces if you're really thinking you're gonna get brawled, but I think Siphoning Wand is just a generally good choice. Like I feel like the meta is shifting towards more KO centric, but more brawling heavy. So everyone's got to be able to throw down, no matter who you are. That's pretty much it. Anyways, back to tempo swing. It doesn't give him as much sustain as other characters would. It's okay. Like I would choose it. Like yeah, if I do need that little bit extra, but other than that, not really. Missile propulsion as well. It'll give your. I'm pretty sure it'll give your special, because it is your special more of a range. So if you really need that extra distance, sure, and I'll give that pull a bit harder. But that's it. That's iffy. Blast cannon as well. Chances are you're going to be getting hit here and there for trying to play the core, so you're not going to be able to keep stacks reliably. But if you think you can, and you're not really against like too much heavy brawlers that are a little passive, maybe I'd consider it, because that extra speed and power is nice. And same with prize fighter. Like I'm not too sure like where I'd kind of put this, especially since you can't really use it right now. So not too much of a disappointment there. All right, let's go to B tier. Some of these things he does get some nice benefits from, like Chrono Boost is all right. He'll make his dash or his special, or not special, secondary. His secondary gives him more of a boost to it, as well as the duration will be up. So that's always good. It's definitely a better choice than down below. It's definitely not his best choice, but hey, it's whatever. Same with Twin Drive. Like, kind of don't really lean too hard into his secondary. Like, it is good. It's a very good chase tool, and it does have the added benefit of being like an extra strike. So getting an extra cooldown of it and shorter cooldown is not terrible. Big strike. Another great choice. He does do some striker battle. Like he will go striker battles with people a lot. So it's never a bad option to have that extra shorter cooldown. Hot shot as well. He does tend to lay up his shots like any strikes that he does, he can easily follow up with other abilities, so it does reduce the cooldown and add some power to it. Hopefully getting it by whatever he's doing, because he is pretty great at forcing his way through perfect form. RIP, but again, just some good cooldown reduction, but can't pick it right now, so don't waste your time thinking about it. Aerial, yes, it is one of the dash boosts. It will give you range, your special. To give you special. Not gonna say ultimate anymore. Give your special more range. It's probably I'd say it's the least useful one for him. Chrono boost is much better, and obviously super surge is, I put it higher up there, but I'm not talking about super surge yet. But aerial, it's all right. 1-2 punch. Again, he probably doesn't really benefit too much from it. He doesn't, like, he can get like the couple hit combos. He does unfortunately use both of his either secondary and primary together, but you can maybe get some kills out of it if they're close to the boards, or like you use his special to pull him in and then smash him to the side. That's always cool. Wish I had some footage of stuff like that, but I do not. Big fish, just for some more survivability. If you can't really get anything to keep you going, like survival wise, you can take big fish. Gives you more stagger. And Castellas, again, it's pretty good on him. It makes his speed boost last a little bit longer, so it gives you more time to chase and get into a better position, and hopefully gives you more time for using his little spin slash, which is all right. So yeah, not too brawler focused here, not too much damage and whatnot. So let's go up to A tier. Built different. Yep. There you go. There's some impact and there's some size. Size is always good. Let's get that going. Saxon sucks. It's a good speed increase. You're very flexible. You're very maneuverable throughout the battlefield. So hopefully you're not dying between sets. So you'll build that up pretty quickly, and then it'll be quick and speedy, which really pairs well with his secondary. So it's a lot of speed burst. Pretty good. Heavy impact. I do like it with him. He does have big range on his primary, which is huge. So chances are you can hit the core and the person that's trying to block you. So you always get good use of heavy impact, giving your primary cooldown reduction and bigger impacts. Always solid. Super Surge, probably the better of the two. Like, I do like Chrono Boost, but Super Surge just gives that bonus damage, and every little bit of damage helps. It'll add up with the Siphoning Wand, and you'll find yourself chipping away at them pretty good. So having your secondary will do a lot more damage, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Extra specials up there too. Always having the Death Hook is always good. Having it more, even better. Again, extra special, pretty much A tier on anybody really. Big Performance is other good one. Like, he does have decent stats overall. I think he has tier 2 stats, which is, not bad. So if you end up getting more stagger, like through like bulk up, or I don't know if you do take big fish, then bulk up and peak performance. I'm gonna talk about them in one. Becomes really good. And Deadeye sets up his ultimate better. It does have a very long range to that shot, so if you do ended up hooking them, it's probably gonna hurt much more. Same with if you're hooking the core to play it to yourself, it'll be much faster, so it would be very hard to anticipate that shot. You just gotta keep in mind that you do have that extra power, so you gotta be on your toes. But I'm sure you know that, like, Rasmus is a difficult striker to get good with, but once you're there, it seems pretty ridiculous to try to stop one. I've gone up against quite a few, and they're very annoying. Before we get into S tier, again, I will like to mention if you're being brawlered, always look out for one of these Stagger Swagger or Unstoppable. It'll help immensely, especially if you're getting killed. You gotta try to take them. You gotta do something to stop that. Otherwise, you're just gonna get steamrolled, and that's gonna be the game. And 3 painful sets later, or 2 painful sets later. Either way, S+. Let's get into some good stuff. Primetime, Primetime is fantastic for him. Giving that extra primary is so good. anything that helps, and that's why I have rapid fire right behind it. Like anything that helps him have his primary more, because it is such a good tool. You can use it for all kinds of stuff. Like you can, you know, like say the guy plays the core and it gets by, you can use your primary and hopefully pound, get it on the right angle and pound it back, and then be right in his face again, or just stuff the goalie with it. That's one of my preferred methods. Is just slam it when you shoot it at the goalie, and goes when he goes for the block, just slam it in his face, and he can't do anything about it. So both are really good for him. Anything that makes the primary brighter, better. Stinger, again, another favorite. Like he does a lot of hits, so he's probably gonna just whittle you down until him or his buddy or anyone else, really, like anyone on your team, can light somebody up, kill them. Stinger, fantastic choice. Never a doubt, especially in this brawler meta. Just choose it with anyone. I made a Juliet list yesterday and I regret not having Stinger higher, but I have to live with that. So that's my B. B. Man, I'm fucking clever. Anyways, specialized training, making his I did say alt. Fuck. A drink for that. Anyways, makes his special hit much harder. Adding more pull to your pull is fantastic. It's gonna guarantee that kill, especially if someone's staggered. You're gonna rip them to you, and they're just gonna go flying. So that's his main tool. He is a KO. I don't know. He can KO really good. So like he probably pairs well with a brawler. But you can like probably pair well with most characters. He's very versatile. So anyways, Adrenaline Rush. Adrenaline Rush, you're gonna be getting KOs more than likely. Shorter cooldowns on everything. And the speed. You couple that speed burst with Adrenaline Rush and his secondary, and you're just gonna be flying. You're gonna pass it to yourself. You're gonna do all kinds of stuff, and it's gonna be fantastic. You're gonna have a good time. Goalie, I don't know. I could see it being very similar, but probably maybe more emphasis on size rather than anything else, and maybe giving the more range. So maybe missile propulsion or Deadeye would be more sought after higher up. But I could still being similar. Like rapid fire and prime time will always be there. It'll be harder to get your KOs since you're not leaving net, but you are a very hard goalie to get by. I've seen it a few times, and it's pretty disgusting. Some people really took to Rasmus. So, anyways, I hope this helps just a little bit. Like again, these are completely my choice in how the game is being played right now. And it's more my playstyle kind of deal, more KO centric. So obviously this is subjective and whatever, but you know, this is my thoughts on it. I know there's probably changes or what people think. So let me know down in the comments section below, and I will take it under consideration and hopefully be able to play some Rasmus myself. I did play him a few times, but I don't know, it never really clicked with me. But I hope he clicks with you, and maybe if you're starting out and want to try him, this might help. So thanks for watching, and more to come. That I don't have a hell of a lot of experience of. In fact, Asher was my last character that I ever purchased. I had everyone else before her, and I maybe only got her like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and have played one match with her. So I really had to reach out and figure out how people are playing her, and I kind of came up with this. So again, full disclosure, this is not a character I'm very adept with, but I figured I can make something and it'd be pretty good. Gives you some right choices and maybe put you in the right direction. And this is for forward Asher. I will add goalie Asher at the end, so let's get through it. Starting with useless Deadeye. She does not have any ranged, so that is, she does, but it's her special, and her special is very slow moving, and Deadeye will never get to where you want it to be. so it's useless. Then we have obviously the sparks and the orbs. I'm not gonna talk about them anymore. I'm just gonna throw them in there. If you want to go for it, you go for it. You know, you be the best you, whatever. Take them, don't take them. Doesn't bother me. Again, with being Asher, I feel like you have a target on your back. So I'm gonna talk about the brawler. If being brawled, make sure you take Unstoppable or Stagger Swagger. You're gonna have a hard time getting around. She's very clunky. So take one of these and it'll make you survive, because otherwise you might just keep dying when you're trying to do anything with Asher. At least that's how I found my one and only game, potentially. I found like I was struggling to do very much and just being bullied ruthlessly. Because that's how forward Asher works now, I guess. Anyways, let's get right to it. Castellast. I'm pretty sure that only affects her special. So it makes it last a little bit longer. I don't know. Actually, let me do some research here. It will make it last a little bit longer, but I guess not really. It's probably situational that you'd want it that way, especially as a forward. Aerial as well. It's probably the least sought after. In fact, yeah, definitely the least sought after. Secondary speed up. Ugh. Adrenaline Rush, he's not very KO centric. I definitely find it hard to actually throw down with people, but you can. But Adrenaline Rush doesn't, well, you won't get too much use, and that's why Prize Fighter I lumped in with it. Glass Cannon as well. If you feel like you're not getting pressured whatsoever, Glass Cannon can be pretty good, but otherwise I probably would avoid it. There's better items that get more use. Monumentalist makes your one creation, your special, last a little bit longer and hit harder, but other than that, nothing too crazy. And same with Missile Propulsion. It'll give you more range with it and hit harder, but it's not really worth it. In general. Super Surge as well increases your dash range, but it, again, situational as fuck. And Perfect Form, RIP, but yeah, I'd lump it there too, because you can't really get it anymore. Maybe one day, but even then, you have to be really aggressive in getting those hits to really make use of a Perfect Form. Alright, B, Heavy Impact. I love Heavy Impact. It usually gives you good value as long as you can do what she needs. Asher tends to be, if she gets into a scoring position, she will secondary primary, kind of similar to Juliet, except I feel like hers is a little, I don't know, easier, harder, I don't know. I never really worked around it, but like if she gets into a position like that, she's gonna like just kind of like push it in, and you kind of like force her way in, and kind of hard to deal. So she does make good use of Heavy Impact, because she's hitting usually the core and the goalie when she's trying to do her thing. So giving her a cooldown reduction, it's not bad. Tempo Swing will keep her going, so she does need to throw down a little bit to kind of, get people fuck off. Tempo Swing helps with that. Bulk Up, Asher does have decent stats, so Bulk Up does some work. And it does pair well with some of her other items, which increase her size, like Big Fish and Stagger. Yeah, anything that increases her stagger helps bulk up. Big Fish is one of them. Whatever. Stinger, good damage option. It's a deterrence as well. People are fighting you. You just do one thing and it's gonna hurt them. And 1-2 punch also easily works with her combo. Secondary, primary. It's gonna do a lot of damage if you get 1-2 punch, but again, can't choose that. So that sucks. Specialized training, yeah, it's a good way to improve her ult. Makes it the core hit harder off your shield that you create. Not terrible. Yeah. And Hotshot, you're using a lot of your abilities a lot of the time on the core. You're trying to score. That's a big deal. Hotshot's gonna help you with that. Give you some nice cooldown reduction as well. Potentially on both your moves that you use it on. And Timeless Creator. You get more duration. And they're bigger. You're shielded. You're special. Anyways, whatever. That's B here. Who cares? Let's get into the A stuff. Big fish, yeah. She loves size. And gives her a little more survivability. Hell yeah. Stacks on stacks as well. Gives her much needed mobility. She is a sluggish character. She feels slow anyways. Her dash isn't that great, and giving her some extra speed, always nice. Extra special. Again, always A tier. I don't know who wouldn't want this. This in A tier. Twin drive as well. Fantastic choice. So she has an okay dash. Let's give her another charge of it. It improve your mobility, get you probably in those positions where you can make a goal much easier. Maybe get away from a brawler who's trying to fuck you up, like X or something. And quick strike. Quick strike, she's very often in those striker battles, so getting quick strike and them not having it, she's probably going to win that battle. I'd say 75% of the time. It depends on your prediction, but and rapid fire, her primary is a really good source of her goal scoring abilities, so having more charges of it always good, especially you're pairing it with like stinger and stuff, like you're able to use it a lot more and you're not afraid to use it because you have a little cooldown reduction. It's pretty good. And peak performance, she does get some of her better items are stagger based, so like big fish and whatnot. That give her even more base speed, more mobility, and that's why I pair it with slick kicks. She kind of needs it. She's going to be striking the core a lot. Like you are just trying to, like, I don't know, booga booga. Is that the term for her? I'm pretty sure somebody used that. Just being like a literal thumb, and you just stand on top of it. So you're gonna get good use out of slick kicks. And pairing that with higher stagger items, higher size, you're gonna be a mean threat once you get the core and get it towards the goal. Yeah, and S plus prime time. It's no surprise. Her primary is definitely her better of the ability for scoring. And same with built different. Her size is what makes her great. You can't strike around her. She's huge. Like it's hard to deal with that. And making it hits harder, even better. Yeah, I think that kind of covers it. She kind of just gets in your face as a goalie and just shoves it in there. And you gotta have something. You gotta have some cooldown. Maybe get your brawler and just team up on her. Keep punishing her. Like Asher is or has gotten nerfed, which she really needed. She was very, very destructive when the game launched. But she has come down. You don't really see forward Asher all that much anymore, and it's because everyone just bullies her. Everyone knows that keep Asher out of your goalie's face and you'll have a good time. And how do you do that? You KO her. I'm gonna switch some things around, and I'll talk about her goalie. This is a goalie build for Asher. It kind of more emphasizes size and some creation stuff over everything else. So I'll get right into it. There's nothing useless here, unfortunately, but good thing, I guess. Orbs and sparks yet again, still same. Some more offensive stuff kind of changed. So dashes came down because dashing is not as important when you're in net, I guess. Again, this is from just some striker guide I found on Steam. I think it's made by Sai, so credit goes to him. Yeah, focuses more defensively with like creations like Timeless Creator, Monumentalist is up here. I'm just gonna briefly talk about it. Goalie's not my real position either, so hard to talk about goalie. But anyways, quick strike. A lot of stuff stays the same. Hot shot and glass cannon move up from B, and I think it was in C actually. But whatever. When you're goalie, you get easy to get more stacks with glass cannons. Easier to kind of keep up. Obviously, quick strike's still very useful. A lot of these are just similar. Just a lot of your dashes and offense kind of stuff kind of stayed low. And Monumentalist is huge because, again, huge. But yeah, anyways, Monumentalist is good for her special. But her main focus is her primary. Able to shut down. You're creating barrier beam, which invokes the shield passive that she gets from it. So pretty much nothing's going to get through it, especially if you have two things to increase your size, and you're always going to have cooldowns from prime time and rapid fire combo. Alright, I forgot. Strike shot and powers pauldrons. I would say are my choice. One, the size is huge. Fuck, I keep doing that. I don't mean to. The size increase is a bit. No, I was gonna say big difference. Jesus, can I not make a size pun? Anyways, Powerhouse Pauldrons is a game changer. The size is what you're focusing on anyways as a more defensive option, and that just helps, adds power, whatever, damage reduction I think as well. But if you're more comfortable and a little more, you want to be a little more flexible and you like Strike Shot, definitely choose Strike Shot. I love Strike Shot as a goalie. I love using it all the time on cooldown. Just like gives you a little more time before you're pressured relentlessly. So yeah, that's a little bit of a goalie change, but nothing too drastic. A lot of the A tier stays similar. Just Glass Cannon and Hot Shot move up, and Big Fish and Rapid Fire move up. Asher Goalie. There you go. If that helps somebody, drop a like. We're talking about another character I am not as familiar with. More often than not, when I play with buddies, they will pick Luna as a goalie or like to have her as a goalie for obvious reasons. Luna goalie is still really good, so don't tend to get to use her forward as much. I have played her in net a few times and it's pretty fun. Nice nailing those skill shots and always fun dropping a nuke. But yeah, full disclosure, I'm not a Luna player, and so that's why I'm lumping her in with some of these other characters that I don't play often. So this is a forward Luna build, goalie afterwards. So let's get right down to it. Castellas, Monumentalist, Timeless Creator, and Chrono Boost. She does not really benefit from any of that. Her charge is absurd, so I don't think needs to be boosted in any way whatsoever. Like, I think it might go faster, which might be a little harder to control with any of these secondary boosts, but other than that, she doesn't create anything, so any of those completely crap. And again, Sparkle's an orb. Choose it if you want. Not gonna break my heart if you do. Not gonna break my heart if you don't. That's important. Alright, situational. Let's get into it. Prize Fighter. She is gonna be KOing. So if you feel like you're lighting them up and you have maybe some other things, like maybe like extra special or specialized training, something that is keeping them down, then maybe you can get Prize Fighter. But again, Prize Fighter is not around anymore, so you can't. So it'd be a situational choice, whatever. Super Surge, it makes your dash do damage. Like, sure, it does a little bit extra damage. But again, I do not know how these function with her secondary. I don't know if it makes it super fast or like uncontrollable. I have no idea. And it would be pretty scary because her dash is already ridiculous. It's hard enough to control. Again, it's just my inexperience, so I'm sorry, but I did want to make some tier lists, and unfortunately, there are going to be characters that not too familiar with. Heavy Impact. It relies on multi-hitting, and Luna doesn't do that much unless she's got her nuke. So if you have other things that like again extra specialized training, just something that gives her the ability to nuke more often. Sure, maybe Heavy Impact will be pretty useful there, but again, I'm throwing in the situationals because you should have some other awakenings first before considering it. And aerials, I don't know. I don't think she needs more range on her rocket. Her rocket already goes more than halfway across the map, so I don't think you really need that extra range. And again, I don't know how these function with her dash, with her secondary. Hotshot again. Sure, she might be getting some cooldown reduction here and there, but I don't think it's ultimately useful because you're trying to more so focus on dealing damage with her kit. She can probably dish out quite a bit of punishment, but you're not going to be using the core or not hitting the core with her abilities often enough to make Hotshot worth it. And same with Tempo Swing. Tempo Swing's gonna be iffy if you can really make it work at all. Like, does give you a little bit of sustain and more damage, but there's better options for that. All right, B tier. Quick Strike, just a solid choice. Gives you some striking power. More energy, why not? It's overall good on most characters, so don't worry, just take it. Missile propulsion does give her more range, but and a little more impact, but otherwise it's just okay. It's a ranged option. Deadeye's there as well, so you'll be more likely to choose Deadeye than missile propulsion. Blast cannon's pretty good. You can get the power, staying back a little bit, and then shooting some missiles and stuff. You're gonna abuse that power and that range of hers, so because that's what she does. She's a very good, as long like she's definitely one of the harder and or hardest characters to really master, at least in my opinion. Again, it's subjective, but getting her skill shots and stuff down does take a lot of time. Timing does take a while to get used to. Maybe not for some. Great, good job. You guys are fantastic at the game. But either way, glass cannon, you can make it work because you can sit back and you can play the range game a little bit. Big Fish is also pretty good. It's a little more defensive option for her, and she does need size. She is rather short, so it does help, and that pairs well with either peak performance and bulk up, giving you more staggers, so you're getting more power, more speed. Good combo. And Adrenaline Rush is not bad on her either. Reducing her cooldowns overall is never bad, and chances are you're going to be nuking them a lot and hopefully getting some kills and stuff, so Adrenaline Rush, always helpful. Perfect Form, however, is not, because you can't pick it anymore. Maybe succeed in quick play, who knows? But otherwise, not gonna get that perfect. Alright, so this is one case where Primetime isn't S tier, or S plus as I put it, but Primetime is very good. So obviously you should take it. If you see it, take it. It's super good. More rockets, more bam, more yeah, they're dead. And that's why Deadeye is really good. Because just all of her abilities are long range, so why not abuse it? Except for her secondary, of course, but whatever. Stinger, you will rack up so much damage with her with this. It is so stupid. I've seen lots of Lunas in my games have Stinger, and just their damage just doesn't even make sense half the time. But you know, Stinger does that, so it makes sense. She can punish people as long as she gets more cooldowns and all that. Oof. She's gonna be hurting. Build difference also good. More impact damage, more size. Never hurts for her to have more size. Stacks on stacks is an easy way to get some speed increase, though try not to get KO'd. Definitely don't get KO'd. If you know you lose the next set, you gotta build it back up again. But KO is definitely getting like would be losing the stacks at a pretty bad time, more often than not. Rapid fire again, it's similar to Primetime. You just want more of your primary. Your whole idea is just trying to missile people down, so go do that. And 1-2 punch, I'd say that she has good follow-up for it, as long as you're good with her secondary to dash in. So you shoot a guy with a rocket, maybe a nuke, hit him really hard, and then follow it up with something, or vice versa, like shoot him with a missile, then nuke him, or dash into him and then nuke him, or shoot a missile. Like, I don't know, just do stuff with her, I guess. Hopefully you get some multi-hits, and yeah. But definitely her best items. Extra special, special. I don't know, like, I don't think anyone else really flourishes this hard with those two. Like, having both and then starting off with a nuke, it's just like, you're gonna drain their energy fast, and when they don't have any energy, they're gonna die. Plain and simple. And having twin drive as a nice backup, so the double dash, if you're very good with it and comfortable with it, you can probably make some dirty plays and rush down a goalie where he's not thinking you're gonna stuff him. Yeah, like again, you know, as I always say, if you're getting brawled, choose unstoppable or stagger swagger. They'll shut them down. And I'd say it's up to you. It's more of like a playstyle preference. Like if you want the more impact and like sending guys flying, I'd choose pummelers. If you want to be more scoring focused, try some slick kicks. That'll probably help her out, give her more some of that speed to kind of keep up with the core a bit more. Or just choose Siphoning Wand and get the kind of like best of both worlds. Start draining their health with your stuff, like make it linger, get some stinger going, and you're just gonna start chipping away. You're gonna start melting them, and it'll make KOs much easier, especially if you have a buddy that's helping you out. So yeah, that's Luna forward, and then we'll get right into Luna Goalie. Okay, this is what I got so far. Oh yeah, obviously we'll change this out. I was just kind of messing around, but boom, and quick shot. So yeah, obviously eject button Luna, that's a big thing. It helps you put pressure on the goalie, on their goalie for you being a goalie, which is crazy. The strike shot gives you that extra little burst, as well as it increases your projectile range, and that's kind of what more focus is. So it's similar where you want specialized training. You want missile propulsion so you can have that extra range. So you're able to do stuff more from your net and not have to worry about it. And still Prime Time and Twin Drive is excellent options. A lot of stuff did kind of change. Stinger and some other ones kind of moved down, some less favorable ones. So like Stinger can be good if you're kind of getting away, like you feel like your team needs that extra bit of damage, but otherwise, heavy impact, you're more supporting with your nuke at that point, so you will get some cooldown reduction on it. And if you have extra special, then that's always nice. Size, definitely stuff went up. Like Built Different and Big Fish. I think Built Different was still up here, but Big Fish moved up, and Deadeye, Quick Strike, like certain things just kind of stayed the same. Like a lot of her general kit, but definitely, yeah. Quick Strike. Hotshot did move up as well, and extra special went down because it is good still. Like again, it's not a B tier Awakening at all. But Hotshot did move up because you're more prone to use your abilities on the core, I think. So getting cooldown reduction and more impact on those could be better. And yeah, so if you're not KOing as much, Adrenaline Rush, bulk up, and peak performance, you're not really needing these as much because you're more likely to help out in the play and help for more of an aggressive play. And then eject button kind of keeps you there, and you're not really needing to move around a whole ton as if you have other options. So you kind of focus more on that. I'd have to play some Goalie Luna if I ever get a chance to. Seems all I can do is come home from work and make a tier list, but it's fine. But yeah, this is just a general good outline, I think, for a Goalie Luna. So tell me what your thoughts. Did I do a pretty good job? I think it was all right. Definitely would put Stinger ahead because I love Stinger. Yeah, there we go. Now that covers 3 characters. Let's do it's all in one, baby. Well, thanks for toughing it out, whoever made it this far. Thank you so much. Holy crap, can't believe you listened to me talk about stuff I had no idea about. Like, look at this Rasmus. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm trying. This is my first game, so go easy on me. Yeah, it was hard to make a tier list with me having real no knowledge of the characters, but I tried. I got it out of the way. Thank you again. Like and subscribe. Love you all. Take care.